Welcome, precast students, to class today on this Wednesday, the 18th. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you enjoyed yet another 4-day weekend. And I hope you guys are ready to learn some math today. We have a lot to do. So let's go ahead and get it started right away. Let me get my pen working here. Hold on 1 second, guys. And here we go. Alright, let's take a look at our schedule for the week first of all, okay? If I can get this thing to work. It's still not working, okay? Alright, here we go. Schedule for the week. Of course, we only have 3 days, so not a lot to talk about, but do understand we are scheduled for a test this Friday, and we are going to take our test this Friday. Those that are at the state basketball tournament or the regional basketball tournament, you're going to have to make this up next week, okay? Now be careful, because next week, the ladies, Ashland, if you guys finish in the top 2, I believe it is in the region, you're going to be at the state tournament next week, so make sure that you get this test taken next week and don't get more behind next week if you're out of town at the state tournament. Alright, okay. Schedule for this week, we're going to do notes today. Now, I want to say this, I believe in pushing you guys. If we would have had class yesterday, I was going to give you notes and homework both, and it was going to be a doozy, probably about an hour of homework to do at night, but because it's a Wednesday now, I can't do that. So little things like snow days or the lack of snow days, whatever you want to call it, since there was no snow yesterday, but those things change everything up, so I cannot give you homework today. So I'm going to give you notes today, and I'm going to give you homework. Alright, so you're going to work on it, but it's going to actually be kind of part of the review sheet, so you don't have to finish it tonight. Tomorrow, you'll come in and you'll work on the review sheet the entire class period tomorrow, and then we'll take the test on Friday. I'll explain that a little better, but that's a quick glance of the week. Alright, let's continue on. You'll have a test on Friday, like I just said. Incompletes. Go ahead and turn your homework in from Friday. Now, guys, if you don't have your homework done, I have no pity on you. You had 4 days to do it, guys. I gave you this on Friday. You had a class period on Friday to work on it. You had time Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, okay? So turn your homework in now, please. Make sure your name is on it. And let's continue on. Incompletes. As of now, there are no incompletes. So it's taken care of there. No incompletes. If you miss a day of class, you are to go to this website right here. Type in the date of the day that you missed. Watch the intro video. It will tell you what to do. And if you come into class and we're taking a test or a quiz, you will take it unless you have pre-contacted me. Alright? Schedule. We're going to go over last week's quiz. We're going to take notes. And I'm going to give you homework. But again, the homework is not due tomorrow, okay? It's actually part of a review sheet. The video today is about 17 minutes long. We will be applying the learned math from Chapter 1 to word problems. It will definitely be tough stuff. We will be spending quite a few days on this material, before the test and after the test, okay? Instead of giving you the homework assignment, I'm going to give you the entire review sheet. Here it is. Please write this down. Before you write it down, do you have to do the review sheet? No, you do not. But you must work in class, from bell to bell, from when class starts to when it ends. Now, when you go home, if you don't want to finish the review sheet, that's totally fine, okay? You don't have to. But if you want 5 bonus points on your test, then I would encourage you to do the review sheet. Okay, there it is. I'm going to pause a second and quit talking and go ahead and just let you guys copy this down. So please copy down this review sheet. This is what's due on Friday if you want the bonus points. While you're copying this down. Now listen, let me explain which problems you should focus on today. The homework help video for is only these problems right here, because those are the word problems, okay? Tomorrow, I will have the rest of the review sheet done for you, okay? Now, that does not mean, please listen to me, that does not mean that you can't work on these problems here tonight. You should look at every single one of these and do as many as you can do if you have time to. Guys, don't get so spoiled that you think you have to have a homework help video. You're smart kids. You could do most of these on your own. And then when the homework help video is out there, you can use it to check your answers, okay? But the homework help video today I'm going to give you is only these problems right here. So those are the ones you want to focus on today during class when you start working on your homework, okay? And then tomorrow I'll have the rest of these worked out, and tomorrow you'll have the whole class hour to work on the entire review sheet, okay? These word problems are hard. Please do not get discouraged. Use the help video and learn. The instructional video today is called Word Problems Chapter 1, Part 1, okay? So please make note of that. That's the instructional video for today. That's what you're going to watch. It's 17 minutes long. The homework help video for today is February 18th homework, okay? That's the homework help video for today. Now, I want to very quickly go over your quizzes. I'm going to go very fast, so please understand that. And please be ready to take some really, really, really good notes, okay? So, here we go. Get out your quizzes and listen carefully as to how to work these problems out, because there were some A's. There were also some F's on these quizzes. So some of you need to take some really good notes and pay attention and learn. So here we go. Problem number 1, find the inverse of this function. No one should have missed this, students. No one. F of x is really y. Where the y is, you put an x. Where the x is, you put a y. It is that simple. And now get y by itself. Well, students, I love y'all. I'm not being mean to you, but this is algebra 1 right here. To get rid of this fraction, you multiply the entire equation by 2. 2 over 1. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 over 1 times this fraction over 2. Your 2's would cancel, leaving you with 4y plus 7. Now look how easy it is. Bring your 7 over and make it a negative 7. Now divide everything by 4. So, divide by 4, divide by 4, divide by 4. These cancel, leaving you with y. 7 over 4 is negative 7 fourths, and 2 over 4 reduces to 1 half x. Now if you put x over 2, I have no problem with that, okay? There you go. That's it, guys. Now that is not difficult, okay? Alright, now let's take this and pull it over for the next problem here. Now, in the space below, use composition of functions to prove that the given function number 1 and your answer number 1 are truly inverses of each other, okay? So there's the answer that we just got, okay? And then the other function is, let's see, 4x plus 7 over 2. Now I'm going to go pretty fast. And we'll call this function here, just for lack of an expression, we'll call it g of x, okay? Now, alright, first of all, we're going to find f of g of x. So we start with f, and where the x is, we put a big parenthesis, so 4, big parenthesis, plus 7 all over 2. Then we pick up g right here, and we put it in for f, or we put it in for this parenthesis right here. So 1 half x minus 7 fourths. Now the first thing I see is there's nothing you can do to the denominator. It's just a 2. So leave it alone. Forget about it. But this numerator, you can totally simplify that. First of all, take the 4 and multiply it through. So 4 times 1 half x is 2x. 4 over 1 times 7 over 4, your 4's would cancel, leaving you with negative 7, and then plus 7 all over 2. Well, negative 7 plus 7 cancels out, so now you have 2x over 2. Cancel out your 2's, and you're left with x. So far, so good. That's what you're supposed to get out is x. Now let's take the composition g of f of x, okay? So here we go. Take your g function and put a big parenthesis where the x is. Now, pick up your f function and put it in the parentheses. Alright, now let's go ahead and multiply this through. 1/2 times this here. You take 1 times the top, so 1 times 4x plus 7 is 4x plus 7. 2 times 2 is 4, minus 7/4. Now, we have a common denominator, and we're subtracting, so put these two fractions together. Your common denominator is 4, so now you have 4x plus 7 minus 7. Alright, well guys, plus 7 minus 7, those cancel out. 4x over 4, cancel out your 4's, you're left with x. Now, some of you, I took points off on this one. You've got to do a better job. I'm sorry guys, I don't want to be mean, but you've got to do a better job of showing your steps, because some of you went from like this to this, and I'm not going to let you try to, I don't know, to pull the wool over my eyes or whatever. I mean, look, you've got to show your work. I'm not going to have that, so I'm sorry, but it is what it is. So, alright, that's how you would do that. Number 3, let's go very quickly. F plus g of x, we're going to add these two equations to get these two functions together. Notice I intentionally gave you common denominators, so we can add these together very quickly. Your common denominator is x plus 1. So up top we have x plus x cubed. These are unlike terms right here. You cannot add them together, so you're finished. Now next, f minus g. So we have common denominators. Your common denominators are x plus 1. And then f minus g, so x minus x cubed. X minus x cubed. Okay, f divided by g. Now watch this carefully. Here's my f function over my g function. Now, we know that really means this top function here. We know this really means this top function here, x plus x over x plus 1, divided by this bottom equation right here. And we know when we're dividing fractions, we multiply and we flip these. So x plus 1 is up top, x cubed is down here. Now look, x plus 1 cancels with x plus 1. Take 1x away from here, take 1x away from here, and you end up with 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times x squared is x squared. So 1 over x squared. And then f times g. So I have this function here times this function here. Well guys, x times x cubed is x to the 4th. And then x plus 1 times x plus 1 is simply x plus 1 squared. Now if you wanted to multiply those together, you would get x squared plus 2x plus 1. And of course x to the 4th would be up top, and that's totally fine. I would accept this for an answer. I would accept this for an answer. I would accept this for an answer. X to the 4th over x plus 1. X plus 1. Okay? I would accept any of those for my answers. Okay? Any of these three. Alright? And of course, why do I have x to the 4th? Because x to the 1 times x to the 3rd is x to the 4th. Okay? Alright. Moving on, number 7. Find the original f and g functions whose composition was taken. I don't know if anybody missed this one or not. It wasn't too difficult. All I can say is this. You have 4 over the quantity 5x plus 2, and that quantity is raised to the 2nd power. So you're looking for a group that you could pull out and maybe substitute back in. For example, right away, I see this 5x plus 2 right here. Okay, now I know if I pull that out, as long as I realized I was going to substitute this back in. Okay, so look what I have, guys. This is not too difficult to see. My f function will be 4 over x squared, and my g function will be 5x plus 2. Now, think about it. Let's check this and see if it's right. F of g of x. So if I wanted to find f of g of x, I would start with my f function, and where there's an x, I would put a really big parentheses. See where I'm headed with this? And then my g function would get substituted in. There you go. That's the exact same thing you have right here. F of g of x, okay? So these two functions would work, and by the way, there's more than one answer to these, okay? But this is the most common answer. Alright, number 8. Does this graph have an inverse? We've got to use the horizontal line test. Now listen, if I asked you, is this graph a function? Is it a function? You would use the vertical line test and you would say yes it is. But I'm asking you, does this graph have an inverse function? So you must use the horizontal line test. And yes, there is at least one place where you draw a horizontal line that crosses the graph in more than one place. So no, this graph does not have an inverse function. No, and the reason would be horizontal line test failed. Okay, it failed. And there we go. Alright, number 9. Does this equation have a function, have an inverse function? Now watch carefully how to do this, okay? I'm going to put a y in for the g of x just to make it a little more user-friendly, okay? Now, here's what some of you went ahead and found the inverse function, and that's fine to do it that way. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to get x by itself and see, remember, everything's backwards. If I asked you, is this equation y is a function of x, then you would get y by itself, which is already done. But I'm asking you, does it have an inverse? So now, instead of getting y by itself, I'm going to get x by itself. So some of you did this. Some of you put x for y, which is fine, and y for x, which is fine, okay? Took the square root of both sides and brought the 5 over and made it negative positive. No problem. I love it. No problem. Now, is that a function? It's definitely an inverse equation. Is this a function? The answer is no, because if you put an input in for x, you get out 2 values, so your inputs are not giving you out 1 output. Your inputs are giving you out 2 outputs. Okay? That's one way to do it, and that's fine. Here's how I did it. I got x by itself, okay? So, it's basically the same thing. I got x by itself, so I took the square root of both sides. Then brought the 5 over and made it positive. Then I said to myself, usually you say to yourself, does each input have 1 output? But now everything's backwards. So I'm going to say, does each output have 1 input? And the answer is no. Every number you put in for y here is going to give you 2 values out. So either one of these 2 methods is fine, okay? But the bottom line is that this function here does not have an inverse function. It does not. Okay, a couple of quick housekeeping things we really need to go over, okay? First of all, the A averages this week are Michael and Anna, so you guys are exempt from homework. I don't think that's going to help you one bit. It's kind of funny, because there's no homework this week, okay? It's a review sheet only, so either way. But congratulations on your A average for this week. Hopefully after the test on Friday, you both will have your A averages next week. Sorry for yawning, okay? Next, Michael, Anna, and Ashlyn, whatever quiz grade you see, add 5 points to it. Now, about 2 weeks ago, I gave you guys a Wednesday assignment, and I said if you'll do the entire thing and turn it in Thursday, even though it's a church night, I will give you 5 bonus points on your next quiz. And then that Friday, we didn't have a quiz, so it was a whole week and a half later, okay? So whatever your quiz says, add add 5 points to it. Now, Anna, you had a perfect 100, so I'm going to recognize you in front of the class, so you really can't add 5 points to yours. And Anna, don't be discouraged, but I do not allow you to carry these bonus points over and use them on another quiz. You understand that gets way too crazy to keep track of, okay? But, Anna, congratulations. Michael, that lifts you up to a pretty good grade, and Ashlyn, you also. So be sure and add 5 points to your quizzes, okay? That's it, guys. Have a great